Someone asked me my 5-year plan yesterday. I kind of panicked, and truthfully, I knew the question was an important one. I asked a frequent customer of the coffee shop I work at the same exact question. He didn't know the right way himself for his 5-year plan, but said, start with where you are right now and go from there. I'm Megan, and this is the Tough Luck Podcast. My brother once told me about this ancient Chinese practice called Taoism, or Taoism, some may say, pronounced both ways, but I'll first say Taoism. The philosophy of Taoism, embracing the present moment, published by The Medium, linked below, practices the focusing of living in the present moment and freeing oneself from both past and future attachments. And this is from The Medium, and it continues to say, while Taoism encourages spontaneity and a natural flow, Confucianism, in contrast, focuses societal order and ceremonial practices. So the contrast between the two very much allows for people to live both in the past and the present as well as the future. It's about having a little bit of that balance there in your life of living in the present moment day to day, but then continuing to carry that forward with you into your life. I have people in my life who are very much in the past. They like to live in the past. They have this way about them that's, they want to reflect on things from the past. And while that's useful to a certain degree to reflect, sometimes it can hold you back from doing things in your present moments. Oftentimes, I like to imagine myself just doing one task at a time, and especially someone with anxiety, I have this need to live in the present moment because oftentimes thinking too far in the past can overwhelm me. Some people, however, really thrive in their future endeavors and are able to very much plan ahead in their day-to-day life. So that works for them. And it doesn't really matter exactly where you end up, because a lot of the times people who have a little bit more of a present moment mindset can often not plan ahead for things. So it's, I think, up to the interpretation of the person. You are the person who has the power to choose where you want to lie in this very moment. And the secret is that there is no secret. It's not a one-size-fits-all method, and I think there are times where we really do need to plan ahead, and there are times where we don't. We don't need to plan ahead as much. We can live in the present and not think too far ahead. And then there's times where we want to reminisce and think of the past and, in fact, learn from our past. I think that is the beauty of, we're about to have a Mercury retrograde soon. Gosh, I'm talking a lot about astrology today, but no matter what, about August 4th, we're having a Mercury retrograde, and it's one of those beautiful times in our lives where it encourages us to reflect and to think about what we're doing, because ultimately the present is defined by the past and the future. And in all honesty, it is one of those things that if we don't think back, we will never get any better. So in general, I do have a book that I learned from back in yoga teacher training. It's called The Yamas and Niyamas, Exploring Yoga's Ethical Practice by Deborah Adele. And this is the book. And it talks a lot about just life lessons, really. It's a really beautiful book going into the 8 limbs of yoga and the lessons that yoga, the ancient practice of yoga, teaches us. So, the one I wanted to reflect on today is Sancha. And Sancha is very much a moment-to-moment type of lesson. It's taking the purity of each moment, and even so, living in purity as well, like eating right, loving your body, and embracing each moment as it is. So I wanted to read a quote by Krishna Machuri, and it states, "I enter fully into each experience, and I come out fully from each of them too. I put the whole of me into all I do, and out of all I do." And that's such a beautiful quote, because I think we often have our heart set on doing things in the future. Like our future self is already set in stone. Like we're really looking forward to this future self. However, we have no idea if we're even given a tomorrow. So there is a level to this that if you live too far in the future, you can often miss out on the present. And Sancha really encourages us to really take advantage fully into each and every moment, the beauty of each moment. And I think we have to embrace that fully. We have to embrace the present moment fully in our world and love the moment for what it is. And I think that I know a lot of people who are a little bit better about future planning, but then they don't always appreciate certain things. And for those of you who are like that, I encourage you to join our membership, clairvoyanceyoga.com, and sign up for the membership. It's actually going down in price on August 31st. It's a beautiful membership we offer for anybody who's interested in yoga, even for the first time, or just wanting to see what it's all about. And you get the first week for free, and just take a look at it, see if you like it. We appreciate you watching the podcast, but yeah, we're excited to continue with this business, Lily and I, and offer you all just a wonderful, beautiful place to find your center, find your present moments. And yeah, no matter where you are right now, give yourself some grace. Oftentimes we think we have to get it all right, and some of this self-help advice is wonderful, it's great, but it doesn't serve us if we're constantly beating ourselves up about things. So if you're reflecting on all of this, just like me when I heard, I gotta plan 5 years ahead, you don't have to right now. You can simply live in the moment right now. Be with oneself, maybe get into a little meditation, and simply allow yourself to embrace what this life has to offer. And so, as I continued to mull over this in reflection, I came across a couple of memories that just came into me from yoga teacher training, and one of which was happening during the Lionsgate portal. It was actually last year. I took a class. I don't necessarily believe in the Lionsgate portal, mainly because I study Vedic astrology, which is a little bit different than Western astrology. Essentially, it takes place, it takes into account the true placements of the stars in accordance to astronomy, which if you have an astronomy app, you can find the constellations. So basically right now, Vedic Western astrology studies essentially allows for us to take into account what happened 2,000 years ago. So about 2,000 years ago during this time, we were in the sign of Leo. But every 70 so years, it moves 1 degree. So we, over time, have transitioned into this time in our lives being in the sign of Cancer, the sun sign of Cancer. Also, that doesn't always, when people say it's Leo season, it doesn't always take into account the fact that there is a shift. So regardless of the fact, that's why I don't necessarily believe in Western astrology. But you can believe whatever you want, it's your life. So regardless of the fact, the Lionsgate portal is one of those beautiful practices. It was one of those beautiful practices that it taught me a lot about being in the mindset of the present, the past, and the future. And we were in Warrior 2 at the time. Our teacher guided us to get into Warrior 2, put our thumbs up on both sides, and then gaze towards the front hand and see, okay, we got our thumbs up in the front. And we look to the back and say, okay, we looked to the back, we had a thumbs up in the back. The front was the future, what we're going towards. The center was the present, and the backhand was the past. And the teacher led us into this practice. We were holding our Warrior 2 for quite some time. Sometimes it can feel like a burden to hold on to a moment in time, like the present, like the past, like the future. But if you just put those 2 arms down, it's a lot less to carry. It's a lot less burden on yourself. So maybe that's where you need to head. Maybe that's where you're headed towards. Maybe that's the thing that we just need to be in right now. When things feel a little too crazy, too hectic, putting those arms down, embracing the present. And with that, have a good one, everyone. Bye.